Have you ever wondered why some people just seem to walk through life with a kind of invisible protection? Why, no matter how much darkness surrounds them, they stay untouched, unshaken, and focused? That's often the story of the Sigma male. He moves through a world full of noise, lies, and bad people, but somehow he stays safe. Why is that? Sigma males live differently. They're not part of social groups. They don't chase approval. They don't need to be liked, seen, or praised. They walk alone, think deeply, and live by principles that don't change with trends. Most people don't understand them. Many try to change them. But somehow these men remain strong in their own way. And for many, it feels like something divine is watching over them. In this video, we'll explore a powerful truth: why Sigma males are protected by God from evil people. We're not talking about magic or superstition. We're talking about the deeper reasons, spiritual, emotional, and personal, that make these men guarded by something higher. There's a kind of shield around them, not because they ask for it, but because of who they are and how they live. This isn't just about belief. It's about patterns. Sigma males avoid toxic people. They sense danger before it shows. They walk away when others stay trapped. And this isn't luck. It's insight. It's connection. It's protection that comes from living in truth and rejecting lies. It's the result of walking closely with purpose and with God. The world is full of evil, people who lie, steal, manipulate, and hurt others for their own gain. Most people fall into these traps because they're chasing something: fame, money, approval. But Sigma males don't chase. They watch. They wait. They choose carefully. And that caution, that wisdom, is part of why they're kept safe. In this video, we'll walk through 6 powerful reasons why Sigma males experience this kind of divine protection. Each reason shows how their way of life aligns with something higher, something greater, something that protects them even when they don't see it. So, if you've ever felt different, if you've ever felt like the world was too loud, too fake, or too broken, and you've chosen to live apart from it, not out of fear, but from faith, this video is for you. Let's explore why Sigma males don't just survive in a dark world. They're protected in it. Not because they hide, but because they walk with strength, with truth, and with God's hand over their lives. Reason number 1. Divine independence. One of the strongest traits in a Sigma male's life is independence. He doesn't rely on others to define him. He doesn't chase attention, praise, or acceptance. He finds strength in being alone, and he doesn't fear silence or solitude. But this kind of independence isn't just personality, it's spiritual. In the Bible and in many other sacred texts, God often calls certain people away from the crowd. He calls them into the desert, into the mountains, into the silence, because that's where he speaks. The prophets, the wise, the chosen, they're not found in the middle of the noise. They're found in quiet places. And the Sigma male by nature walks that same path. Divine independence means a man is not ruled by others. He listens first to his own soul and then to something higher. He doesn't bend to pressure. He doesn't follow the crowd just because it's the easy thing to do. That's why evil people find it hard to reach him. They can't influence someone who doesn't care about approval. They can't control someone who's already free. This kind of independence protects Sigma males from many dangers. In relationships, it helps them walk away from toxic people. In work, it keeps them from being used or manipulated. In life, it gives them the power to say no to wrong paths, wrong people, and wrong choices. And this ability to say no is what keeps them safe. God honors this independence because it reflects trust. A man who walks alone but still walks with integrity shows that his faith is not in people, it's in something higher. That kind of faith draws protection. It draws strength. It sets him apart. Evil people look for followers. They look for weak minds, soft hearts, and people who want to be liked. Sigma males don't fit that. They're not weak, they're not desperate, and they're not easily moved. That makes them hard to trick, hard to break, and hard to reach with lies. Their independence is also a kind of silence. It creates space to think, reflect, and hear truth clearly. In that space, God speaks. Not with noise, but with clarity. That's where strength grows. That's where guidance comes. And that's where evil can't live. A Sigma male may not always know why he feels pulled away from people, from crowds, or from certain paths. But often it's God pulling him aside to protect him, to teach him, to prepare him. And if he listens, that quiet life becomes a shield. Not from pain, but from destruction. That's why divine independence is more than a trait. It's the first reason Sigma males are protected by God from evil people. Because when a man walks alone in truth, he's never really alone. God walks with him. And evil can't touch what God has claimed. Reason number 2, spirit-led discernment. Another reason Sigma males are protected from evil is because of their natural discernment. They can read a room, feel energy, and sense lies before words are spoken. This isn't just a skill, it's a gift. It's the kind of spiritual insight that comes from living close to truth. And often it's led by God. Sigma males don't talk much, but they notice everything. They watch how people move, how they speak, how they treat others. They pick up on things most people miss. This awareness isn't by accident, it's how they stay safe. While others fall into traps, Sigma males step aside. While others are fooled by charm, they see through the mask. This is discernment. It's the ability to tell the difference between what looks good and what is good. And it's one of the most powerful forms of protection God gives. Because in a world full of fake people and false light, being able to tell truth from lies is everything. A Sigma male may walk into a room and feel something is off without any proof. And he'll trust that feeling. He'll leave, step back, or stay quiet. And later he'll find out he was right. That's not just instinct. That's spiritual protection. That's discernment. This gift keeps him away from toxic friendships, bad business deals, and dangerous relationships. It's not fear, it's wisdom. And it grows stronger the more he listens. Because the more a man listens to his gut, to his spirit, the clearer it becomes. That's how God leads, quietly, deeply, clearly. Evil people hate discernment. They want to hide. They want to control. But they can't fool someone who sees past words. They can't lie to someone who's not looking at the surface. That's why Sigma males frustrate toxic people. They can't be played. Discernment also helps Sigma males choose who to trust. They don't open up fast. They don't share everything with everyone. They wait. They watch. They test. And only when someone proves themselves real do they let them in. That's not cold, that's wise. It's what keeps their circle pure and their heart protected. This spiritual insight isn't loud. It's quiet, but strong. It's not about judging people, it's about seeing clearly. And when you see clearly, you move wisely. And when you move wisely, you avoid traps. That's protection. That's grace. That's God working through a mind that listens. That's why spirit-led discernment is the second reason Sigma males are protected from evil. Because when a man sees with more than his eyes, he's walking in a kind of vision that comes from above. And in that vision, evil has nowhere to hide. Reason number 3, steadfast integrity. Integrity is one of the strongest traits a Sigma male carries. He doesn't shift his values to fit in. He doesn't bend under pressure. He doesn't lie to protect himself or impress others. What he believes, he lives. And that kind of honesty is rare in today's world. It's also a major reason why God protects him from evil. In a time when so many people fake who they are, a man with real integrity stands out. He speaks the truth, even when it's hard. He walks away from things that don't feel right. He sticks to his principles, even when no one's watching. That kind of person becomes a light in the dark. God values integrity. It's written all through Scripture and reflected in spiritual truth. A person who lives by what's right, no matter the cost, draws the favor and covering of God. Because that kind of living isn't just good, it's holy. That kind of man becomes hard for evil to touch. Evil people look for cracks. They look for weakness, for greed, for pride. That's how they get in. But a Sigma male who lives with integrity doesn't give them those openings. He's not chasing status. He's not playing both sides. He's not looking for shortcuts. He's walking straight and he's walking clean. This doesn't mean he's perfect, but it means he's real. He owns his flaws, but he doesn't fake his strengths. He keeps his word. He doesn't say yes when he means no, and he doesn't change depending on who he's around. That consistency makes him trustworthy, and it makes him protected. Evil can't live where truth stands firm. And when a man builds his life on truth, God stands with him. That's not just a belief, it's a pattern. Over and over, the strongest spiritual protection shows up in the lives of those who live with unwavering character. This integrity also shapes how a Sigma male treats others. He doesn't use people. He doesn't manipulate. He gives respect even when it's not given back. And in doing so, he avoids many of the fights, traps, and enemies that others walk into. Because people who carry evil energy don't stay long around someone they can't deceive. There's also peace in integrity. When you don't have to hide, you don't have to fear. When you're not acting, you don't have to remember lies. Sigma males live with that peace. They're not covering up. They're not caught in webs. They're free. And that freedom protects them. It also draws the right people. When you live honestly, you attract others who do the same. That creates relationships, work, and life paths that are strong and clean. And those clean paths lead away from evil, not by accident, but by design. That's why steadfast integrity is the third reason Sigma males are protected by God from evil people. Because when a man's life is built on truth, God honors that foundation. And evil can't shake what's built on solid ground. Reason number 4, quiet strength in prayer and meditation. Sigma males are known for their silence. But that silence is more than a personality trait. It's often a doorway to something spiritual. While others talk, post, and seek constant noise, Sigma males pull back. They go inward. And many of them find a kind of strength there, through prayer, meditation, and quiet reflection. In the Bible and across many faiths, silence is where God speaks. The stillness isn't empty, it's full of presence. It's where guidance comes, peace grows, and clarity breaks through. Sigma males, by nature, live close to that stillness. And it becomes a place where they find not only peace, but protection. Prayer for a Sigma male doesn't have to be loud or long. It's often private, simple, and honest. It's a moment of connection, not a show. And because it's real, it has power. That power builds inner strength. It clears out fear. It grounds him in something stronger than himself. Meditation works the same way. It's not about being perfect. It's about stepping out of the noise and into clarity. A Sigma male may not call it meditation. He may just sit, think, or breathe. But in doing so, he's letting go of stress, resetting his mind, and listening to what's deeper than the surface. That's where guidance comes. That's where God whispers. A man who listens in silence starts to move differently. He avoids things that feel wrong. He sees through tricks. He walks with confidence, not because he knows everything, but because he's heard enough to trust the next step. This kind of strength is quiet. It doesn't look powerful, but it is. Because it's steady. It's focused. It doesn't react to every push or pull from the world. That steadiness is what keeps Sigma males safe. Evil can't sway a man who doesn't move unless it feels right. Spiritual practices don't have to follow rules. They do have to be real. And Sigma males, because they don't follow crowds, often find God in places others miss. They don't need a show or a stage. They find him in silence, in nature, in thought, in stillness. And in that stillness they're protected. Not just from stress, but from people who carry the wrong energy. Because a quiet soul can feel what's fake. It doesn't need words. It doesn't need proof. It just knows. This is not about being religious. It's about being connected. A Sigma male who spends time in silence becomes hard to reach by evil, not because he's hiding, but because he's centered. He's strong. And that strength comes from a source that evil can't touch. That's why quiet strength in prayer and meditation is the fourth reason Sigma males are protected by God. Because when a man listens in silence, he starts walking in wisdom. And that wisdom leads him far from harm. Reason number 5, nonconformity to evil culture. Sigma. Males don't follow the crowd. They don't chase trends. They don't do things just because everyone else is doing them. That nonconformity isn't just a personal trait, it's spiritual resistance. And it's another reason why God protects them from evil people. The world is full of noise telling people how to live, what to want, who to be. Most people follow without question. But Sigma males stop and think. They ask why. They check their own values before they move. That simple habit protects them more than they know. Evil often hides inside culture. It hides in the shows we watch, the influences we follow, the habits we repeat. It looks normal, but it leads people into dark places. And because Sigma males question everything, they don't get pulled in. They see what others don't. This kind of resistance keeps their minds clean. They don't fill their lives with things that don't sit right. They don't laugh at what's evil. They don't cheer for what's wrong. That doesn't mean they're perfect, but it means they're aware. That awareness keeps them safe. God honors people who stand apart from what's fake, broken, or twisted. In every spiritual tradition, those who choose the harder, cleaner path are lifted up. They're protected. Because they're not just avoiding evil, they're refusing to become part of it. Sigma males may look like loners, but they're really just focused. They don't want to be led by the world. They want to be led by truth. And that choice pulls them out of harm's way over and over again. This non-conformity also makes them strong in their identity. They know who they are. They don't shift to fit in. They don't fake it to belong. And because of that, they don't attract the kind of people who feed on weakness. Evil people love easy targets. They love crowds, confusion, and people who don't think. But a Sigma male walks through all of that untouched, not because he's lucky, but because he's awake. That's why nonconformity to evil culture is the fifth reason Sigma males are protected by God. Because when a man chooses truth over trends, he walks in a different kind of strength. And that strength becomes his shield. Reason number 6, humble leadership through service. Sigma males are not loud leaders. They don't seek followers. They don't crave attention or titles. They lead anyway, through action, example, and quiet strength. This kind of humble leadership is rare. And it's another reason God protects them from evil people. A Sigma male doesn't need credit. He helps without asking for thanks. He gives without making it about himself. When he sees a problem, he solves it. When someone's in need, he acts. Not because he wants recognition, but because it's the right thing to do. That's what makes him a servant leader. The kind of leader that many faiths and wisdom traditions honor. He doesn't lead from the front to be seen. He leads from within to make change. And God always watches that kind of heart. This humility protects him in 2 ways. First, it keeps him grounded. He doesn't fall into pride, which is one of the biggest ways evil enters a person's life. Pride makes people blind, arrogant, and easy to manipulate. But humility makes people wise, clear, and hard to move off their path. Second, humble leadership avoids enemies. People who lead with ego attract jealousy, hate, and attack. But Sigma males stay low-key. They do what's right and keep moving. That keeps the spotlight off of them and keeps their peace safe. This doesn't mean they're passive. Sigma males are strong, but their strength is quiet. It's not about proving something, it's about living something. And that way of living earns real respect. Even enemies can't deny their character. Humble leadership also attracts the right kind of people. It brings others who want to grow, not just take. It builds trust slowly, deeply. And those relationships become strong, safe places, free from the fake energy that often causes pain and trouble. Sigma males also protect others through their leadership. They don't lead with force, but with wisdom. They notice when something's wrong. They step in without needing to be told. They speak truth when it's needed, but always with care. That makes them safe people to follow and dangerous people to mess with. Evil people avoid them not just because they're strong, but because they stand for something. And that something isn't about themselves. It's about truth, about honor, about serving without needing applause. That's the kind of leadership that God protects. In spiritual terms, the greatest leaders are servants. The ones who put others first, live by example, and don't lift themselves up above others. That's the Sigma male. He may not even know he's leading, but he is, through every small action, every honest word, every quiet moment of strength. That's why humble leadership through service is the 6th and final reason Sigma males are protected by God. Because when a man leads with love, not ego, when he serves with strength, not noise, God guards his path. And evil can't follow where truth walks ahead. You've just seen 6 powerful reasons why Sigma males are protected by God from evil people. These men live differently, not by accident but by choice. And that choice brings a kind of covering, a spiritual protection that surrounds them wherever they go. They don't follow the world. They don't chase what's fake. They walk alone, but they walk with purpose. And that purpose aligns them with something much bigger than themselves. It aligns them with truth, with integrity, with the kind of strength that doesn't come from crowds, but from character. Their independence keeps them free. Their discernment keeps them wise. Their integrity keeps them honest. Their quiet spiritual life keeps them grounded. Their refusal to conform keeps them clear. Their humble leadership keeps them focused on what really matters. That's why evil people find it hard to touch them. That's why toxic relationships, bad deals, and manipulative games don't stick. Because Sigma males are not just different, they're protected. Not because they ask for it, but because they live in a way that earns it. God doesn't only guard those who pray loudly. He guards those who live right, think clearly, and serve quietly. And that's the Sigma male. A man who may not shout his faith, but walks in it. A man who may not stand in front of crowds, but still leads with truth. If you're a Sigma male watching this, understand this. Your path is not easy, but it is blessed. Your way of living is not common, but it is covered. And your strength isn't just yours, it's guided, guarded, and grounded in something greater. And if you're someone who knows a Sigma male, now you understand why he moves the way he does. Why he doesn't fit in. Why he sees through things most people miss. He's not just different, he's protected. Because he's walking in truth. And truth always finds protection. So keep walking. Keep standing. Keep living the way you were made to live. And know this, God sees you. And no evil can stand against what he's decided to cover. That's the real reason Sigma males are protected by God. And that's the kind of strength the world needs more of.